Good evening to all the attendees, and thank you for joining us. I would like to welcome you all to Series 3 of the Critical Illness webinar, Revelations about Cancer and Cancer Survivorship, a real-life story by Dr. Tan Yew Ai. I would also like to welcome all the directors of Y and Associates. It is a pleasure having all of you here. Without further ado, I would like to invite the speaker. Casey is one of the directors of Y and Associates and has been in the financial service business for the past 15 years. He's a 5 times MDRT qualifier and also appointed as a master trainer with AIA. Welcome, Casey.
Hey, hi. Can you guys hear me? Hi,
Yes,
welcome.
yes. Can hear you.
Welcome and thank you for the introduction, Harry. I'm very, very delighted on behalf of Y Associates. I want to thank everyone who's here. We have about 29 attendees, okay, right now live on the webinar. And of course, we will be streaming this live on Facebook as well right now. So if you can't come in for any reason, you can check out our Facebook page, or you can tell your friends or whoever to check out our Facebook page, and you should be able to watch this live as well. So this will be streamed live, and it also will be recorded. So thank you very much for being here. On behalf of Y Associates, and all the leaders who are here, all our partners, I want to welcome you for this webinar. But most of all, most importantly, I know you're here to listen to Dr. Tan Yew Ai. Now, Dr. Tan Yew Ai, I don't know if it's appropriate, Dr. Tan, should I call you a renowned scientist?
No, that's too much.
But I know that she was the head of sustainability division with Malaysia Palm Oil Berhad for I think more than 15 years. Am I correct?
37 years.
37 years. Wow! Imagine that. 37 years of experience with MPOB, and she was doing the research and all these things. She has been speaking a lot in also public kind of seminars. And this is the first time she's actually speaking on a live webinar online. And I really want to thank her for being here today. She is going to be sharing about her revelations and the journey that she went through cancer, the treatment, diagnosis. So in this webinar, she's going to share really from her heart. I'm very, very happy to have her here today. We are very, very privileged. And again, on behalf of everybody, Dr. Tan, we welcome you. And, the stage is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Casey. And firstly, I would like to thank Y Associates for actually inviting me to, actually giving me this opportunity to share my story with the people. And of course, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would also like to thank you for taking time off to listen to my story. Okay, without further ado, let's start. Well, the title of my talk is actually Revelations about Cancer and Cancer Survivorship. This is from my point of view, and I would say that every cancer survivor has their own story to tell. It is unique to each and every survivor. So this is just my story and from my point of view. So it may be very different from other cancer patients' point of view. Well, I'd like to look at the outline just to guide you through to what I'm going to say. I'll start with introduction, something I'll introduce myself, which I think is very important because it sets the stage for how a person would actually receive shocking news about their state of health. It's sometimes people think of a cancer diagnosis as a life sentence, a death sentence as well as a life sentence. It may or may not be true, but it also depends on how the patient is going to accept this particularly sad diagnosis. So, and then I'll take you through the beginning where how I prepared for it, how I actually received the news, how I actually went on through this journey without actually breaking down or without actually going hysterical. Then I'll go on further to looking at the milestones, which is milestones. As a scientist, I like to talk about milestones in journeys. So I'll take you through the challenges I had at each particular milestone. And after all that, I'll just share a little bit about the new norm as a survivor, because it's very, very much different from when I was a healthy person. and I'll conclude that with some thoughts about what I went through and how I could, if I have the right to actually advise people about cancer.
Just some basic housekeeping, Dr. Tan. Sorry to interrupt you. Just some basic housekeeping for everyone who's just joined in. If you have any questions, okay, Dr. Tan will be answering some questions at the end of her presentation, and you can actually key it in the Q&A section. You should see it if you're logged in on Zoom via a mobile device on the computer. You should be able to see the chat box, and there's a question and answer there. Okay, so you can ask your question there. And also we're going to be having polls as well. So you might see that during the presentation at certain points, we will take a break and we will actually put up a poll. So please participate and answer some of those questions, and we will share the results with the poll as well so that you know about it. So as much as possible, Doctor, I will try to come in and help to bring the session along. But anyway, yes, I know it's quite interesting to talk to people. It's like talking to the screen, but we have about 33 attendees right now. Okay, thank you again very much for joining in. Dr. Tan Yew Ai here will be sharing her story. Thank you. Back to you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's start with something about me. Well, the person I am is as a result of a lot of factors. So family background would be the first thing that actually factors in a lot to making the person. I come from a very unique family in the sense that I had a very strong mother, in the sense that she has a very strong character, and a father which is the most patient man I've ever known, not a single harsh word from him. My mother was very strong in the sense that I would say that she started off from a very good family, very rich family, in fact. But then after her marriage, she gave birth to 3 very special children, shall I say. My brothers are all mentally challenged, what you call children or people with special needs. And that actually molds the person that my mother has become. So she's very strong, because in the face of all the public opinion, having children with who are special needs, all of them, by the way, all of my brothers are special needs people. So it was very difficult for her. And to put that into perspective, I was actually not the biological child, meaning that they were my adoptive parents. But what I am now came a lot from how I was brought up in my during the time when when my parents were alive. They made me the person I am, and I'm very, very ever grateful to them for everything they've given me. I mean, adoptive child, a lot of people don't really take too much care and how the child goes and all. But my parents have given me everything, and that made me, because my mother was in such a difficult position. She was a real planner, and I learned that from her. Planning all the way, planning for a rainy day, planning for events which one will never ever think about would happen to you. And that really sets the background for mine being able to accept the fact that I was not well. Secondly, my profession makes a lot of difference to who I am. I'm a scientist. That means I'm really into all this scientific stuff. I have been a researcher for 37 years, and during that time, I mixed around with a lot of people who are doctors, scientists, chemists, physicists, everything. And I have lots and lots of friends who are in that area. And that also makes it very easy for me to understand a lot of stuff which are medical in nature. And being a chemist myself, and being also a person who is very, very, very interested in medical fields and all. So I actually knew a lot I had a lot of information about my illness, actually. I thought I had at first, until I actually got ill. Then it was a different perspective altogether. And I was also a very, very, am still health conscious person, meaning I go for my annual checkup. And well, the bad side of it is because I'm so extremely health conscious, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, meaning everything I read, maybe I have that. Maybe I have this, that makes it very stressful in the way, but it makes me more aware also in a way. And this was the awareness which actually helped me to a certain extent as to my cancer diagnosis. And lastly, my friends would know I'm a zoophilist, meaning I'm really, really a great animal lover. In fact, I'm a little bit weird in the sense that I will coo over puppies and kittens, but not over a baby. Well, that makes it a bit strange, but that helped me also because I'm sure a lot of people have heard about animal therapy. It helps. It really does help. And because I have a lot of link with animals and all, they actually made my day. I have this dog with me all the time, and it's as if she knew that I was sick. In fact, I think she was the one who actually sensed that I was ill from the very beginning. And since I've been in, since that time when I was diagnosed, she's been with me almost 24/7, never leaving my side. She's here now, actually sleeping by my side. Okay. So with that, I'd like to go to next part, which is, I'll take you through my journey from the very beginning. Okay, as I've told you before, I'm a really health conscious person. So I actually never ever miss my medical checkups, yearly medical checkups from, I think, more than 10 or 17 years ago. I've had medical checkup on the dot every year. So, and it was back in 2018 November that I had my last medical checkup. And even before the medical checkup, I felt there was something not really right. I was very conscious of things happening in my body, or conscious of feelings which are not normal. And actually, I had this tingling feeling, and my arm was actually numb, my left arm. It was strange, but it was numb. But it's not something that was really uncomfortable because it comes and goes. So when I had my medical in 2018, everything was fine. As you can see, tick for everything. There was nothing that I need to worry about. So that put my mind at rest in a sense, because despite the suspicion that I had, the medical test sort of like ensured me that everything was fine. But then, if you note, the date was November 2018. In April 2019, that's about 5 months later, I knew there was really something wrong, because one of the things that you know about breast cancer, everybody knows, is when you start feeling a lump and things like that, which didn't happen to me. There was no lump. There was just a feeling that something was not right. And there was the medical, they have a very funny description for the shape of the breast. They call it the architecture of the breast. There was a difference in that, in the sense that they notice a dimpling or whatever, inversion of some nipple, and something was wrong. That was what I noticed first. So I went for a repeat scan. I spoke to my friend first. My friend is actually a very famous breast surgeon. So she told me, well, it could be this, it could be that. So, but you just go for a repeat scan. So I went for a repeat scan and noted it's in April 2019, and the scans weren't good. I mean, it was only a matter of 5 months. They saw that there was something wrong. The ultrasound scan shows that there was something wrong, and the mammogram shows that there was something wrong. So it was like, in a way, it was a shock, but it was expected because I still didn't feel everything was right. So after the repeat scans, they say you have breast cancer, and point is, after the mammogram, they found there's something different about the scans, and they say that what they say was you had a BRAF 5. They actually look at the stages, they diagnose the image, the what do you call it? The person who does the ultrasound scan, she will actually give the results based on the images, and she gave a BRAF 5, which is bad, because a BRAF 5 will sort of say that it's actually malignant, 95% of the chance. So that was before I even had my biopsy. And so, well, a lot of people say that when you've gone for a biopsy and where you're waiting for your results, that's the really period where you're really, really stressed. I wasn't stressed because I knew it was already malignant. So it was like, okay. but I was surprised that me being me, a scientist, and I don't know there are so different types of breast cancer. I had my colleague in MPOB who was working on breast cancer using triennial, and she never mentions anything about subtypes and about grading and staging. Of course, she said, but no, nothing about subtypes at all. So I just happily thought, okay, it's a cancer, and probably because I discovered it so early, I thought it was early, it couldn't be that bad, right? So I think it was the other. Could I have the previous slide on the breast cancer?
Yeah. Dr. Tan, while you are talking this, I've just put up a poll for the rest of you for the awareness when you did a medical checkup. Can I ask you again, Dr. Tan, you said that you actually go for yearly medical checkups all the time? You're very conscious?
All the time without fail.
Okay, and then this happened like in between 6 months, is it? It was in the 5 months period.
December, January, March, April, 5 months. 5 months.
Can you imagine, right? So you did the mammogram and all the checkups before, and it was all clear.
Clear.
And then after that, you did it, 5 months later. But I think the thing that you were sharing was you had a feeling that something was off. I think that was something you said that was really important. You know your own body. I think I remember you told me this before. Is that true?
Yeah, you need to know. You need to be aware of signals from your body. If something is strange, like you've never before had tingling feeling or numbness, then all of a sudden you have it. Something must be wrong somewhere. It can't possibly be nothing.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to get it checked out, I think, basically, so that you can act on it faster. So the poll, if you haven't done the poll, just take about 10 seconds, answer the poll, and then I will share the results after this. Dr. Tan, can you see the poll? It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I can.
So you can see that, we have about 19 people actually answering the poll here today, half of our participants. And, we have about 32% of people did their checkup more than 2 years ago. So that is quite interesting, and some of them, so some can't even remember when they did the last checkup. So I think, it's probably the recommended age, to do checkups, at least once a year. It's a minimum that you must do. And then probably 6 months, depending on your age as well. But, let me show, let me show the poll. I think everyone's voted already. And the poll, and I will share the results here now.
Every 6 months, very good.
Yeah. So we have a few people every 6 months. That's very good as well. It's good awareness. Yeah.
But that may be just a blood test sort of medical checkup, I think, because you don't go for scans every 6 months.
That's true also. I think the most important thing, what would be your most important take home, rather than the scans and everything in the combination, what do you think you can suggest to people?
I think it depends a lot on the person and the age, I guess. I guess a lot of young people don't really go for medical checkup because my son is a great example. I have to push him. And in fact, a blood test will do quite well, but actually the blood test includes a lot of cancer markers, which I don't think are really very, very reliable in a sense, unless it's really your marker is really is very high. Like a lot of guys who there's a prostate cancer marker, PSA marker, that shows up quite well actually. Whether it's a high level or low level, it does seem to be quite positive in being able to diagnose prostate cancer. But things like for breast cancer and for stomach cancer, I don't think they actually tell you much.
For your case, was it the cancer marker or more of the mammogram?
The cancer marker was normal.
I see. Okay. So yeah. All right. Thanks so much, doctor. So the results of the poll are there. You can have a look at it. You can pass back to you, doctor. You can continue.
Okay. So as I was saying that I thought I knew everything about cancer, not just breast cancer, but most cancers, because I work a lot with people who work in prostate, pancreatic, every type of cancer there is. Because we do a lot of in my line of work, we do a lot of trials on new drugs, new natural substances which can actually replace the more toxic chemo drugs. That's what we were trying to do at the same time. So I thought I was pretty knowledgeable about cancer, especially breast cancer. But no, all of a sudden, I was told that it's not a single disease and there are multiple subtypes, which I actually haven't heard of. And I've always been told that the gold standard for treatment of cancer is like, take tamoxifen. But then I didn't know that tamoxifen is only for people with estrogen or progesterone receptor positive cancer. So because of the different types, the response to treat, there were different types of treatment for cancer. And because of the different type, there's also a difference in the growth and the growth rate and spread of cancer, of that particular cancer cells. And because of the different rates, you're going to have different long-term survival rates as well. So, but each risk factor will vary depending on different types of breast cancer. And at this point in time, I would say that even the occurrence or the cancer patients are actually coming from the younger age group. That's what I've been told. You know, last time, long time ago, I mean, what I knew about breast cancer was, oh, if people over 40, then you are a little bit scared that you will get breast cancer. And actually, breast cancer occurs quite a lot for people over 60, like in my case. But now I heard there are quite a lot of people in 25 age onwards getting breast cancer, and they are getting the more aggressive type of breast cancer. Okay, so if you look at this particular one, if you look at the, well, on my left, the type of grading and staging. So for grading and staging, for all types of cancer, they stage and they grade. When you talk about grading, it means you talk about when you look at the cells, you know, whether the cells are normal, and if you're whether they're growing very fast, then they grade it according to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. If you're talking about staging, they'll look at the tumor size, whether it's big, greater than 2 cm, you'll be more worried about it, and whether it has spread to the surrounding lymph nodes, or whether it has spread to other regions like maybe your lungs or your liver or your kidney, etc. So there are 4 stages actually, and then when you talk this on the right, we'll talk about the ER, PR, and HER2 types of breast cancer. These are mainly for breast cancer types. If you look at it, if you go down the list, the one at the bottom where it's triple negative, negative for ER, negative for PR, negative for HER2, that is actually the most difficult type of breast cancer to treat. And in my case, what I had was a HER2 positive, but I had ER and PR negative. ER means estrogen receptor, PR means progesterone receptor. The HER means is a human epidermal growth factor receptor. So what I had was, and the shocking thing was, I had a stage 3, which I never expected, because first thing, when you talk about staging, a lot of people say, oh, you start feeling lumps in your breast. By the time you feel the lumps, the cancer is there for 2 years already, at least some people say. But in my case, there were no lumps, and it has actually grown within 5 months or so, I think. Or maybe the previous scans weren't accurate enough, because one never knows, right? So now also I'm a bit skeptical. Every time I go for my monitoring, I go for my scans, the scans say, oh, you're fine. I take it with a pinch of salt, even at this stage. So what I had was a stage 3 and a HER2 positive. HER2 positive type, that's the third type according to this slide, is the second, it's not as bad as a triple negative, but it is, as long as you're a HER2 positive diagnosis, it is not a good diagnosis, in the sense that long time ago, you can't do much about HER2 plus tumor cells. Maybe 10 years ago, it was quite bad. You can't do anything, unlike the ER and PR positive, because you can actually give things like tamoxifen, which is actually to suppress your ER and PR receptors. So it wasn't really, I was a bit, it was, the news was like, everything comes all at once, and you sort of like, you can't digest it, in a sense. Then I started reading up a lot after this. Well, being able to because being in the science field, I could understand a lot of the scientific jargon, which is good and bad at the same time, because the more you read, the more scared you become. And the more you know, and the more you think about the, look at the bad side rather than the positive side. So it's a balance of the two. So because of I had, after this diagnosis, what I can do is like, I know that a lot of people with HER2 positive last time, even now, you're surviving the can actually get the drug to treat the cancer. So they have a list actually of qualifications whether you are entitled to treatment. So they actually wouldn't treat you if you are a stage 4. That means it has spread breast cancer. But actually, I do have a friend who has stage 4 breast cancer, HER2 plus, and like me, she never had any signs of indication that she had cancer. All the tests came out negative, but she also had numbness in her hands. That was the thing. She had a numbness, and she is a doctor, by the way. She has a numbness in her hands. All the scans don't seem to show up anything. And by the time they actually found out about it, it was stage 4, and it has spread to her liver. But because she had access to the particular drug, which is Herceptin, which was available overseas at that time, she had the money, being a doctor, being from a quite wealthy family, she could go overseas to get her treatment. And she has, that was 10 years ago. She's stage 4 and she's still okay. But she has never stopped treatment until now. She had it on continuously, Herceptin. But that would cost a hell of a lot, because every time I go for when I went for my Herceptin infusion, the bill came out to something like 11,000, for, and it's a three week cycle. So you have to go once every 3 weeks for 18 cycles. That would cost a lot of money. Actually, it comes up to more than about something like 200,000. So treatment actually depends whether you survive your 5-year period, depends a lot on financial situation. So whether they're prepared to pay for it. And there are lots of people who actually couldn't get treatment, and they just sadly have to go because of that. And let's look at my milestones. I'm a researcher, so I like to think of things in milestones. I have to look at, assess every step.
Yeah, Doctor, sorry to interrupt you. Thank you very much for sharing so far. We have a few questions. Do you want to answer them?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, I'll read them to you. We have about 3 questions here. We have one from Loretta Ang. She asked, what was your first reaction when you were told that you had breast cancer? And what is your advice if you receive such bad news? How did it affect your family? Yeah.
How did it affect
your family?
Oh,
so
my family.
What was your first reaction? And what's your advice when we receive such bad news, and how did it affect your family?
Well, if you look at this particular slide, you see I put emoticons at the right side of the slide. It shows how my mood going from happy to sad to really bad. But to answer your question, actually, I am a little bit strange in the sense I do accept things quite calmly. No hysteria, no tears. In fact, I knew I had cancer even before the biopsy results came out. And I didn't want anybody to go to get the results with me. But because I didn't think I needed the support, because I just knew. So I want to talk about how I accepted it. I accepted it quite calmly, I should say. My family, it was my son who actually was really, really affected. The only time I really felt like crying was when he asked my oncologist, will my mother live? That was really, which almost broke me. But he started asking the oncologist that question, saying, I'm going to ask you a very silly question. Will my mother live? That's how. And of course, oncologists being oncologists, they're not going to tell you, oh, she will live or whatever. They'll say, oh, we'll try our best to make her, to make sure that she gets through this, and things like that. So basically, my son took it a bit differently. He was affected to a certain extent. my husband, I actually don't know, but some of my friends think that he was in denial. He's just pretending, oh, everything is fine, everything will be fine. So actually, it didn't really affect me, and the other thing which is very important, which is actually relevant, is this particular session is the financial aspect. So I didn't need to worry about it. That takes a whole lot of stress out of everything, actually, because lots and lots of families have actually, after they go through all the treatment, they get well and all, and fine, but they are broke. And that comes with another set of problems, which is not good for their maintaining their stressful mind in order to fight from going back into a relapse. So that is my answer.
Yeah, thanks so much, Doctor. There are two more questions. Maybe we just answer them quickly because they're related. We're going to answer one of these live here. It says, Dr. Tan, is there any possibility that and other type of cancer also there will be subtype grading and staging?
I think the staging is general for all types of cancer. Staging and grading is general. The subtypes, there are subtypes, but I'm not very sure. But I know that stomach cancer, they also have the HER2 positive type, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't say that that is for sure. But I've heard that Herceptin has been used for HER2 plus in stomach cancer, but not as successful as being used on breast cancer.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. And just the last one, it says, hi, Dr. Tan. Just a quick question, is cancer can be discovered at an early stage, such as stage 1? I think the question is asking, can cancer be discovered in stage 1? You know, is it discoverable, or do people discover in stage 1?
It actually can be discovered at stage 0. Actually, but it depends on what type, as I said before. HER2, I think because HER2 type, the type which I had is very, very aggressive. It is so aggressive you can't actually get to it on time. But there is a stage 0 type, which they say that when the cancer hasn't come out of the ducts, you know, there are lots of ducts in the breast, mammary ducts, and it has actually been, if it is confined within the ducts, I think it's called ductal carcinoma in situ, meaning it's within then it's stage 0.
Yeah, that's I think there is we have insurance policy that pay for those also, the stage 0 ductal, I think so. Anyway, okay, thanks so much, Doctor. I think we'll move on with your presentation, continue your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, as I said, I was talking about milestones and timeline and my emotional state versus the milestone. So before diagnosis, happy. If you look at it, I was pretty happy. And then when the diagnosis came in May, you see the graph going down. I was very affected emotionally because I thought it would never be a stage 3. I mean, even my friend thought, you know, oh, don't worry, it's early because, right? I thought it must be early, you know, within 5 months, what can happen within the 5 months, even if it's within 1 year, what can happen? But it was not to be. I was stage 3. And and after the biopsy, what my friend did was say the first thing you think, if it's early stage, you do your surgery first. They'll take out whatever that needs to be taken out, and then they irradiate the section, and then later on you may not even need chemotherapy actually if it's early. So, but in May, after my biopsy, they found it's HER2 plus, and they found out it's stage 3 plus. Fine, I still have a chance of just actually skipping chemotherapy. But then before that, they said they wanted to go for a full PET CT scan, full body PET CT scan. In this particular PET CT scan procedure is pretty, well, it's not unpleasant, but it is, what they do is they inject you with a radiated radioactive glucose into your body, because cancer cells actually take out a lot of sugars. So they actually inject in the glucose, which is radiated type. And then after that, they just put you through the scan in the PET CT machine. And then they pick up areas in your body which takes in the sugars. And that means there's probably cancer in there, cancer cells growing in that certain part. So when the PET-CT scan results came out, I was shocked again because it is not only stage 3, it actually has spread. It wasn't confined to the breast anymore. It went to my lymph nodes underneath the armpit. And it actually went up to this part, the supraclavicle nodes, that means just below the shoulder blade here. So in that case, that was really upsetting for me because I never ever expected that. Not. So that means everything has to be changed. They can't do surgery first. They will have to actually do chemo first. So doing chemo is one thing that I was very scared of, because if you know, a lot of people say chemo is so horrible, you get so sick, and I can tell you it's true, it's really horrible. That was one of the worst period of my life, because like chemo is like you do it. I had 6 cycles, meaning every 3 weeks I go one time, so I have to go for 6 of just 18 weeks. I would finish the full cycle. So you pump in different types of chemo drugs, which are horrible, because first week you feel fine. At the end of the week, then you get all sorts of side effects. And of course, the side effects, like for women, especially for ladies, I think most, my hair is different. Everything is different. So the chemo drugs actually, am I unstable now? I mean, the internet connection. I hope you can hear.
Let go for a bit, but it's back on now. Not a problem. Yeah.
So I had this chemotherapy done. The effects were really horrible. I had everything from bleeding gums, bleeding, whatever, and alternate between diarrhea and constipation. And you go to bed every night hoping that you won't wake up the next morning, so everything ends. So that was a horrible period. And whatever said and done, I went through this, and okay, at the end of it, it was okay. And after that, in September, that was the chemo started from May to August. So during that period, that was the worst period of my life in terms of bodily comfort, in terms of spiritual level too. And after that, I went for surgery. The surgery, there were 2 alternatives. Either you take out the whole breast, or you take out the part which is affected. I didn't have a full breast removal because the cancer was really only a small part of the, involved only a very small part of the breast. So I had what you call a lapectomy. They only take out that certain part. Surgery is nothing. Actually, there's no pain, no nothing. And by the way, I'm a strange person in the sense that I have a very high level, a high threshold of pain. I seldom feel much pain. I had if Casey remember, I had actually an operation for perforated appendix. My appendix was completely perforated, and I don't feel a thing. That almost killed me. That almost killed me, because if I had delayed, I would have died.
I remember that one because I visited you at the hospital and you were telling me how serious it was. It was a sudden thing. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it was, the surgery was fine. Everything went fine. And after the surgery, what I had to do was, in months of November to December, I had 25 cycles of radiotherapy. That means they want to make sure the whole area which is involved is really cleared of cancer cells. So I have to go to the hospital every day for excluding weekends, so that only Monday to Friday, every day until I finish the 25 cycles. But that is actually a walk in the park. Radiotherapy is really simple. You just go there, you go under the machine, it takes 5 minutes, and then off you go. But towards the end of the 25 cycles, you actually get big burns in the area. The whole area gets burned up like a red lobster. But that was fine. So after that, and targeted therapy, if you look at targeted therapy, that's a part where you actually attack the cancer cells, HER2 positive cells, with Herceptin, which only attacks HER2 cells. That unlike chemotherapy, chemo drugs will attack everything. So it kills every cell which is active, like your mucosa of your stomach, your hair, and things like that. But targeted therapy is different. The drugs are different. They only attack the cancer cells, the HER2 plus cells. So The side effects weren't that bad. It was, I had, maybe you get a little bit of diarrhea now and then. So that one, I had to have a whole year of that particular regime starting from July 2019 to July 2020. So every 3 weeks, go to the hospital, get your targeted therapy. So my mood was lifting by the time I finished it in October onwards. It's just monitoring. So what you need to do is just every 3 months, go to the doctor and you talk to the oncologist and you tell him, do you feel whether you feel okay or not, which I need to talk about later, how you feel, whether, because they will ask you, you need to see, do you feel any different or whatever, because it's difficult to feel different, because I'm completely different now. I don't feel normal all the time. So this monitoring is from October to whatever. So every 6 months, I do go for a ultrasound. But because I know don't have much confidence in ultrasound since last time when it was not diagnosed, I just go. But I also need to do a PET CT scan, like let's say once in a year, because that's the only one which I can actually catch the cancer. So because after these milestones, I'll talk about my new norm. After all this journey, you are a completely different person, physically and mentally. So after all this time, my taste buds are actually sleeping most of the time. Sometimes I can taste differences. Sometimes I can't. They say that it will last, I don't know how long. Depends on each individual. My arms, my left arm and my feet are completely numb. Then it's like, when you sit in the position for so long, you have the feeling is there all the time and non-stop. And I have spells of lightheadedness, or what you call syncope, means sometimes all of a sudden I feel very lightheaded, like wanting to faint but not fainting. And it can occur anytime. I don't know when. And I wake up each morning feeling a bit muggy headed. The head is like a bit not really too fine, and the body aches because of my arm. Sleeping on that side actually aches, and I have to practice my arm exercise every day. Otherwise, I'll get frozen shoulder. That means I can't lift my arm. And tiredness is something that I have to live with, because all of a sudden I can feel tired. I don't know for what reason, but I do that. And then let's go to my spirit, mental makeup at this time. My new normal emotional level, I have this, because cancer, there's no cure for cancer. Last time everybody says that if you pass the 5-year cycle, you will be fine. No such thing. Even if you pass your 10-year cycle, you are not fine, because there is no cure. It can come back if you're unlucky. So there's this fear of relapse all the time. When is it going to come back? When it comes back, where is it going to be? It's a 10% chance of it coming back to the breast which was affected. There's a 5% chance of it going to the right breast, which was not affected. But there's a chance of it going to liver, lung, bones, and most importantly, brain. Because the HER2 positive cancer cells are really cunning. They like to hide in the spinal system, because so to prevent the drugs from attacking them. And that's the easiest to go to the brain. So I am scared. But everybody will tell you, oh, you be positive. Everything, you think positive, everything will be fine. But you can't do that all the time. But because you have to be grounded at the same time, I feel, you have to think of, be prepared if it comes back. So what I do now is I just live in the present, but prepare for tomorrow. So I prepare everything. So I have everything done, will, whatever, everything that can be done at this point when I'm fine, I do. I'm not going to leave it to tomorrow. And I enjoy each day and take each day as a bonus, actually. I love it when I wake up in the morning. I still have my achy body. I still have my muggy head. But if my family is fine, and if my brothers are fine, that's very important, because it takes off a lot of stress from me, and that goes towards making me positive. So in conclusion, I will say the cancer journey goes well beyond treatment and remission. It's a continuous period of rehabilitation and of both body and mind. So it goes on and on. Now, the cancer and cancer survivorship will come with its own set of challenges, because it will, for me, maybe the challenges aren't so many, but for many people, there may be challenges after diagnosis, because there may be a drain on your finances. There may be if you were working, let's say, and if you were the sole breadwinner, that will be actually affecting you a lot. So those challenges will actually affect you mentally, which will affect you in a sense, your body is not, you get a lot of stress, and then that they say that it will encourage cancer growth. And then the psyche of the person will determine how well these challenges are met. So whether the person is the type who can take upsetting news, I believe I can, but I heard of people became really hysterical after receiving news, they really are hysterical. And but I am thankful to the fact that because of my background, I have lots and lots of friends who are in the medical field, in the scientific field. They will tell me about lots of things, and I read up on a lot of things. And being informed is important, very important. In fact, it even makes your treatment easier, because you ask the right questions and you prevent problems that may set in because you didn't ask the right questions. So, and most importantly, be aware of cues from your body. Slightest things which appear different, be aware of them. Like me, it's just a matter of just a tingling in the breast and a little bit of numbness in the hand. That's all. And nothing picks it up, but those were there. And as I said before, the coping mechanism for cancer survivorship is important. Physical and emotional preparedness are crucial. It may be morbid to say that, oh, I'm going to die. I will prepare for things when I'm going to die. But I think it is important to be prepared, because for me, I'm very lucky in a sense. I had my cancer at 63. On the day which I had my diagnosis, there was another lady. She's only in her 20s. And she was diagnosed with cancer. I mean, she has a whole life ahead of her. I don't know whether she was married or not, but she had a whole life ahead of her. Me, I've left, I mean, a big portion of my life has been lived, and I had a wonderful life so far. I travel everywhere, work. Of course, now I can't travel, that is the only thing about it. No, I'm fine now. I wish I could travel, the tick off my bucket list, but this silly COVID-19 is really messed up everything. It was such a mess. But then everybody is accompanying me in that. Everybody has to stay home, so I'm no different. So I have company. So my new norm was when I went around with masks long before everybody had to go around with masks, because during the chemotherapy you cannot get sick. The minute you get sick, your white blood platelets go down. They delay the treatment. Once you delay it, delays are bad. And then especially Herceptin treatment, the targeted therapy, you cannot delay it. If you delay it, they have to start it all over again. And the thing which would make it really scary in a sense was the MCO. I couldn't go to Subang because I'm in KL. So I was so afraid that it would just upset my timetable. But luckily, everything turned out fine anyway. So can I say that life can be good? Life for me is good despite. And with that, I thank you for having your patience to listen to me, my rambling, whatever. I hope it is of use to some of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tan. Thank you for sharing. I've just put on a poll. It's called the cancer awareness. I think it's good for us to have that kind of awareness, and that I don't know whether most people know, but cancer has actually overtaken heart disease as the number one diagnosed critical illness, right? In Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm so surprised when you shared with me, you say there was a 20-year-old lady who was diagnosed as well at the same time, and that must be devastating. But doctor, if you don't mind me asking while they're answering the poll, can you talk a bit about the financial side? Just now you mentioned that it's good that you have the financial in order and everything, so that it doesn't get extra stress. I think a lot of people don't realize that, and sometimes people do say like, I don't know. Sometimes I talk to people because I'm in the insurance industry. I talk to people. Sometimes I tell them about preparing for critical illness, having the funds, financial funds, and they tell me like, why not we go government hospital, and things like that. It's free anyway. How do you look at it? Because you are also quite, I think, aware that you do use the government hospital facilities as well,
I
right?
do.
You want to
I
share
do.
a bit about that as well?
Well, that's this mistaken idea about government hospitals. I mean, they are well and good. Government hospitals are fine, but I would say that one should never depend. You need to get your finances in order or sufficient nest to actually await a rainy day. Because I do know that government hospitals, like I said before, if you were HER2 positive at stage 4, government hospitals are not going to give you the targeted therapy drugs.
Oh, so you mean if your situation, you went government hospital, what will happen? They won't give you treatment?
For me, it may not. They may still give, because I was at stage 3. It's
Okay.
stage 4.
Oh.
Stage 4 is when it has actually spread to organs, maybe the liver and or pancreas. So you won't qualify. And there was a case of a doctor herself, a 29-year-old doctor. She had stage 4, HER2 positive.
Right.
And she had, I mean, being 29 years old, so how many years have you been in the medical? Not many years, not enough for you to earn a lot of money, right? Not enough for you to actually buy a lot of insurance for a medical insurance either. So she went to a government hospital, and they had this list of whether you qualify for criteria for you to satisfy before you qualify for the targeted therapy. And she did not qualify because she was a stage 4. Because stage 4 is like,
even though her age was quite young, actually, I thought that
she was young, and she died.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
It's so sad. It is really sad. So everybody, it's like, you cannot actually depend wholly on government hospitals. Government hospitals, one thing, like the wait will be very long. If they think that you are not that serious, then they may delay the surgery, they may delay the chemo, because they have so many patients to look after. And they'll go according to the degree of seriousness of your illness. And I just wanted to draw attention to one fact also. A lot of people think that breast cancer is just for women. No, 2% will affect men, 2. And it's strange, but my son's friend's father was diagnosed with breast cancer last year.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that?
You mentioned this to me before, so I was quite surprised.
So men will say, oh, breast cancer, nothing to do with me. No, you have to be careful. But of course, it's easier for men because you can feel the lump, if there's a lump. So he felt a lump. So he went, he had insurance anyway, but he wasn't a HER2 positive. He was just a estrogen or progesterone positive cancer. So that is an easier cancer to treat. A cheaper one too, because tamoxifen is pretty cheap, should I say.
Okay, thanks so much, Doctor. We have looking at the poll results here. Wow, very interesting. There was a question asking how many people you know who have been diagnosed with cancer or critical illness, and more than 70% of people say more than 3 people they know. So it is quite common.
It is very common.
Yeah, so I think the awareness is there, and it's quite common nowadays. And the other question, the poll results I'm sharing now, is how much do you think an average cancer treatment cost is today? Some people say, most of them say 300,000 and more than 300,000. I think 30 to 40%. Dr. Tan, since you had a medical plan with AIA, right, and with us,
yeah,
how much did they pay for everything? Was there something that maybe you can share from your own words, that AIA said they didn't want to pay, or this treatment is not allowed, and things like that? How was it? Or was it easy process, and how much did it cost total until now, or your treatment?
For me, I'm actually blessed in the sense that I knew I had an insurance plan, but even if the insurance plan didn't come through, I was fine with that, because I had another plan. I had a critical illness plan too.
Yeah.
So,
that paid out money. Yeah, correct.
yeah.
Treatment.
So I think there was a little bit of a kink in the system, in the sense that I think they say they weren't pay for my chemo because I didn't declare the fact that I had osteoporosis or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that worked. Finally, that was ironed out, I think.
Yeah.
But well, it did bother me a little while, in the sense that they're not going to pay. I have to dig into my capital first. I'm a person who's really into financial planning. I don't want to touch my capital, not even 5 cents. So I was a bit upset at that.
Yeah.
But whatever it is like, I mean, and I'm thankful. It's such a thankful thing that I actually bought insurance, because I knew I always had to buy insurance even from young. Even though MPOB actually provided us with the coverage, I bought my additional ones. So now, knowing all these things, I make sure my son buys sufficient insurance too. But I feel it's it's a little bit of like forced savings for me.
Correct. So Dr. Tan, because you were my personal client, and I'm very thankful that you chose me. I remember the time when you called me about osteoporosis, and we did the best that we can. That I got the whole ladder all the way up to the top, and then after that they approved. But since then, I think there has been no problem, right? Everything was
No.
paid.
Everything was fine.
Okay.
It was I think it comes to around 300,000. But
Around
actually, the most expensive treatment, if you look at some of the surgeons, breast cancer is one of the most expensive.
Oh,
really.
Okay.
It's more expensive. The second one, I think, is colon cancer or whatever. But they put an average sum around 395,000. So mine came out to around 300,000. But of course, maybe the 395,000 include subsequent chemotherapy, because if it comes back, you need another round and another round. So
did you so the medical treatment so far you spent about 300,000? Am I correct? Okay. All right. Did you have to do any other treatments now, or it's just in remission and then?
No, I don't need to do anything now. I just go every now and then for my what do you call it, monitoring. And because I'm one of those who with very fine veins, arm veins, right? So I couldn't do my infusion on my arm, so I had to put in what you call a pot, and that pot, insurance paid for the pot, but now I need to flush my pot. I have my pot still there. I have to flush my pot every 3 months. Of course, I pay that for that myself.
Yeah. So far the 300,000 all covered by insurance for the medical as well. Okay, fantastic. So that's good. I think that means that you have extra money that hopefully you can travel again after COVID.
Hopefully I can travel again. I'm just hopefully that I'm well enough to travel again.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Tan. It was a very insightful sharing, and again, because of time, I think we went a bit over time today, but I think everyone really enjoyed the session. Please stay on now because I'm going to pass this session to Mr. Lam Kah Meng, where he will actually share a bit about the Cancer 360 plan that AIA has right now. There's a promotion going on, and he's going to share a bit about that. So it covers for cancer, and I'm passing on to him. Kah Meng is actually our very elite pro-life planner who's been with us for many years, and he's the perfect person to share with you about the plan. Thank you so much. To you, Kah Meng.
All right, thank you, Casey. So thank you, Dr. Tan, for sharing about your journey of cancer survivor.
So listening.
Yeah. So AIA also do have a comprehensive cancer coverage plan called AIA A-Life Cancer360. The 3 points that I took from your sharing, Dr. Tan, is one, cancer doesn't just hit older people. They are starting to hit younger people, and when they hit younger people, it tends to be more aggressive. The second point is this: different people will take cancer news differently. It will affect them emotionally, but different people take it differently. So the more positive you are, I think, the better it is. The third thing that is very important as well is the ability to pay for the cancer treatment, and also the impact that it brings to the family member. I think that is one thing that the insurance plan can actually help with. yes, a person may go through grief, may go through the pain, but if we can settle one part of it, which is the financial part of it, I think it will help the cancer patient a lot. So let me just share with you a little bit about this Cancer360, right? So you see here, the reason why we should get a cancer plan is because cancer cases are on the rise. Back in 2018, they recorded in Malaysia about 32,000. In 2012, it is 37,400, and it predicted to be about 56,000 in 2025. So you see, with the population increase, the lifestyle that we have, cancer cases are going to go up over time. But the good thing, like what Dr. Tan said just now, she is very health conscious. And sometimes if we live a healthy lifestyle, it will reduce the chance of getting cancer. No doubt, sometimes even if you're healthy, you get it. But by living a healthy lifestyle, the chances of getting cancer will actually reduce. So with this AIA plan, if you attach it with AIA Vitality, I'm sure most of you have heard it before, it's a membership whereby the healthier you live, the more rewards you are given. If you attach it together with this Cancer360 plan, if, for example, you live a healthy lifestyle for a particular year, AIA will reward you by giving you 20% of your premium as a cashback so that you will continue to live healthy. Now, if you have been an AIA member or if you don't know what AIA Vitality is, please ask your life planner. But in AIA Vitality, there is normally 4 statuses that you can hit. Now, if you hit platinum status every year, your 20% cashback will increase 1% every year. So this gives you an extra incentive to help you live a healthier lifestyle as well. So with AIA Vitality attached with Cancer360, you're getting back your cashback, your premium back, right, as a reward. Having lived a healthy lifestyle, what if cancer does hit a person? How does this plan help a person? So coming to your first benefit of Cancer360 is, if a person is diagnosed with early stage critical illness or early stage cancer, this plan will actually pay out 30% of the sum assured. So the different types of early stage cancer that we will cover is early stage prostate cancer, early stage thyroid cancer, early stage bladder cancer, carcinoma in situ, and early stage chronic lymphocytic leukemia. So if you hit any of these early stage cancer, we will pay 30% to you. But like Dr. Tan said, cancer treatment is actually a prolonged treatment, right? So at month 6, we will pay an additional 10% of sum assured as a recovery benefit. And again, at month 12, we'll pay the second 10%. So in total, for early stage critical illness, a person would have received 50% of their sum assured. Now, after 12 months, if a person gets late stage cancer, instead of just paying the balance 50%, your sum assured will now be reset to another 100%. So what this means is this: if a person gets late stage cancer after 12 months of being diagnosed early stage, you will get another 100% of your sum assured. However, if, for example, a person is diagnosed with early stage and within the 12 months, they are diagnosed with late stage cancer, we will just pay the balance of the 50%. I hope this is clear to you, the second benefit, right? So normally in an insurance plan, once the sum assured 100% has been paid out, the plan usually is terminated or cancelled. But AIA, again, like Dr. Tan says, treatment is a prolonged thing. It takes 1 year, 2 years, right? We say that even if your 100% sum assured has been paid out, we will give you an extended recovery income to you for every year a person survived from cancer. So if a person survived 5 years, they will get total 50% of your sum assured as extended recovery income. So this will help you if you're financially affected, a person loses their job, a person needs to get different type of alternative treatment that's not covered by insurance, you can use this amount as your recovery benefit. So I hope this shows you that AIA's plan helps you through 1, prevention, 2, early cancer, and also 3, late stage cancer as well. Some may ask me, sometimes cancer is very severe. What if I'm being diagnosed with late stage cancer, and within the second year, after being paid out 20%, I pass away? What will happen to the balance 30%? Don't worry, it will actually be paid to your beneficiary as well. Okay, so nothing is lost there. So for sometimes cancer plan in different companies, if nothing happens to you, you get back nothing, right? But the third benefit that we have is maturity payout, whereby if a person continues to live and reaches the age of 80, we will actually pay you out 100% of the sum assured. So like Dr. Tan says, she's very into financial planning. She doesn't want to touch the capital. She puts money to insurance, sometimes for investment as well. So if in the event a person is putting money into this plan, it doesn't want to be burned, the money will actually be paid out at age 80, the total sum assured. Okay, so your money is not burned in a sense. The last thing is this. If, for example, a person passes away anytime before the age of 80 because of cancer, we will also pay an additional 10% of your sum assured to your beneficiary as a compassionate benefit to the family. Okay, so there are 4 benefits for this Cancer 360. Number 1, early critical illness. Number 2, early cancer. Number 2, late stage cancer. Number 3, your maturity benefit. And number 4, your compassionate benefit. So if you've joined us for the many webinars that we have, our focus has been on critical illness. You realize that the top 3 critical illness in Malaysia are cancer, stroke, heart attack, and today we're focusing on cancer. And Dr. Tan has shared that there is a lifestyle impact to having cancer. There is a long-term recovery, and she did mention that cancer treatment cost for her is about 300,000. So knowing that in mind, I think it's important to get an insurance policy that will help you both in treatment of cancer, as well as if your lifestyle is affected, if you cannot work anymore, at least it gives you some sum of money to do your living expenses. So medical inflation, we shared with you in the previous webinar, is actually quite staggering. In 2020, it's actually 14%. In 2018, it's 15.3%. So these are the things that we need to be mindful of. And looking at the Cancer 360, the plan, how it works is that there are different units a person can get. So if you choose to get this plan, if you want to get 1 unit, the sum assured is actually 50,000. You can go all the way up to 6 units at 300,000. So each unit increase at 50,000. The premium is actually not too expensive compared to other plans. So if a person who is age 30 and is a male, the premium per year is only 610 per year for this cancer treatment plan or cancer plan, right? And the good thing is children can even get it. The entry age for this Cancer 360 is 14 days old, all the way up to 60 years old.
Wow.
Yep. So knowing this, Dr. Tan has shared very well. We've known how this plan can help you. We're actually running a promotion today, just for today and tomorrow. If you choose to get your plan today, what will happen is, if you get 1 unit, we will give you an immediate cashback of 5%. If you get your 6 units, we will give you an immediate cashback of 10%. So remember just now I mentioned to you, if you attach AIA Vitality, we will give you 20% cashback of your premium. That is at the end of the first year. For this particular promotion, we're giving you at the inception of the policy. Okay? And just to bear in mind, the only caveat here is this: your premium mode or the premium payment must be an annual premium payment. It cannot be a monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. Okay? So I hope this has shown you how this plan can help a person financially as well. I'm going to show you this QR code. What you can do is go ahead and scan this. I'll share with you again after this. But by scanning this QR code, what will happen is you will actually be able to generate your own code. You don't have to wait for your life planner to call you, sit down with you. You can actually know how much is your premium for the particular unit that you want. So let me just run through with you how to do this, yeah?
By the way, if you want to generate this code, the link is also on Zoom now on the chat, so you can click on it and you can generate as well. But I think Kah Meng, you're going to be showing them how it works, right?
Correct. I'll show them how it works. Hold on, yeah. So if you can see my screen, when you actually scan the QR code, this form will come up. So I'm just going to give you an example on how to fill this. You first fill your name, of course. Then you press enter. You will key in your mobile number. Now, if you have an agent, you can put an agent down. So for example, if my agent is Hafiz, I will put Hafiz and I will continue. You can select whether you are male or female because the premium is different for male and female as well. And say, for example, a person is 30 years old, like mentioned just now. You can see that it states here for 1 unit, which is 50,000, my premium per year is 610 ringgit per year. Now, if I'm interested in getting 300,000 sum assured, I'll click 6 units. And when I click OK, this is what will come up. You will say that, thank you for your interest. In order to cover 6 units of 300,000 sum assured, my yearly premium will be 3,360. After you have done this, please remember to click submit. So at least your life planner will know that you're interested in this plan and we will call you up and sign you up for this. So just remember to click submit after you're done. All right?
Right.
I hope this is useful for you. If you want, we can give you at least 1 or 2 minutes to just scan the code and do the survey form. I'll pass the time back to Casey to moderate this.
Thank you so much, Kah Meng. So the link is already in the chat now. Can you please click on it and then you can see how many units you want to take up. Now, again, this is just to indicate your interest that you want to explore and that you're interested in the product. Remember that the offer is going on only today and you have to submit it or we have to get the whole thing done by tomorrow. So if you have any questions regarding this plan, you can actually ask now in the chat as well, or else we'll give you about 1-2 minutes to actually get the quote generated. So you can share this link with anybody, any of your friends or people whom you feel that they could benefit from this. I think I will answer some of the common ones. Okay, I will answer the Q&As later, but if related to this plan, please scan and get a quote now. Okay, we have 1 quote request so far, please keep them coming in, all right? So what's the promo again? 5% on 1 unit. Yeah, so we're going to give you, that's only for people who are attending this webinar. If some of you are watching this, a recorded version after the webinar, you can still use the link, but we can't give you the offer anymore, okay? But anyway, for those who are here live on the webinar, we will give you the instant cashback, 5% for 1 unit, 6% for 2 units, 7% for 3 units, 8, 9, 10, all the way there. So it's really affordable. I think to get covered at least 1 unit is something that you must have on a cancer plan that pays out cancer. So just to make sure that you understand it, the cancer plan will pay for those conditions that Kah Meng was just sharing about, early stage, diagnosis, recovery stage, extended income stage. So it's a very, very good plan. And if nothing happens to you, you're going to get back a cashback and there's cash value as well there. So it's a very basic plan. Some of you might even have this question. I think a very common question people be asking is, if I have a medical plan already, should I buy a cancer plan? Kah Meng, do you think you can answer that? I have a medical plan already. It's pay, anything happens, you'll pay for my insurance, my medical hospitalization. Should I still buy a cancer plan?
I think the answer is, right? I think we answered that in the first webinar. I think the answer will be yes. The reason is because your medical card only covers medical treatment. We do realize that sometimes when a person is diagnosed with cancer or in fact, other critical illness as well, their lifestyle may be affected, their job may be affected, they may need to get alternative treatment that is not covered by medical card. So getting a lump sum out will help you through both your recovery, alternative recovery, as well as if a person loses a job or chooses to take a career break, then that will help a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering that. And what about people who already have a critical illness plan or cancer plan with other insurance company? Another common question I think they're asking is, would they pay? Will this cancer plan pay if you're diagnosed with cancer? There's only one of the insurance company will pay. So if they already have another insurance policy that covers cancer, will both policies pay?
Yep. I think for medical card, you only pay the hospital bill, but for plans where they pay out a lump sum, regardless of how many plans you have, they will pay out as long as you submit the diagnosis to the insurance company.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Any questions? Any more questions related to this? We're live now. We're going to give it 1 more minute. 1 more minute, okay? So you can get your quote now. Just key in, or you can scan the QR code to get your quote and let us know, and you can check how much it costs for yourself as well. Just key in your name, your phone number so that we can get in touch with you, put in your agent's code, agent's name if they will be referred here, and you can select how many units that you're interested in. You can also use this code. You don't have to decide today, okay? You're not signing up right now. There's no credit card form there. It's just to indicate your interest so that we will follow up with you and make sure we get it done within the next 2 days, yeah? Okay. Okay, I think we have all of it. There is one question here. I think, Kah-Meng, maybe we can try to answer this. Recently, insurance premiums have increased significantly. What is the consequence of not paying the increased premium for those who are already on a plan? This one is asking, what is the consequence of not paying increased premium for those who are already on the plan? Okay. What happens?
I think there is 2 types of insurance policy that you need to be aware of. There is the traditional medical card, as well as the investment-linked medical card, right? So if, for example, the insurance company increased the premium for an investment-linked medical card and you choose not to pay the extra premium and keep to your current premium, what will happen is your plan will not be sustainable until the promised age. So for example, if you're buying a plan that sustains till age 80, but you choose not to increase your premium as advised by the insurance company, your plan may only last till age 70 or 75, right? Whereas for traditional medical plan, if a person or if an insurance company asks you to increase the premium, you must pay. If you don't, the plan will cancel immediately.
Yeah.
So there are 2 differences there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I hope it answers your question there. Okay. Thank you very much. Just the last one. I think there was a question that was asking also on post hospitalization coverage on our medical plan. I think on the medical plan, like Dr. Tan, yours one, right? Post after you've done the treatment and everything. Have you gone for any follow-up treatments and there's been no problem in the claiming and the payment also so far?
Actually, I didn't go for any follow-up treatment. There was no longer any treatment.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay. I think to answer that, I can answer that question. If there was any post follow-up treatment, actually the medical plan would continue to pay lah. Actually, will continue to pay, not a problem, under the outpatient cancer treatment benefit. But it's very important to know which medical plan you're on, because different companies and different policies, even in the same companies, have different conditions to pay that. So if you're not sure, please check with your life planner. Not all policies medical will pay, but in yours one, Dr. Tan, it will pay for the post.
oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're doing any outpatient continuing treatment, because you have the best plan. You have one of the best plans in AIA with us today. So
Expensive
not
though.
but yeah, he saved you 300,000, and I think even more, right? If I'm not mistaken, because I remember you have a few other policies which you had where the premiums were all waived, right?
Yeah,
So
thank you, Casey, for that. Actually, yeah, I had a part for my brothers, I remember, and that was like a huge chunk.
I think it saved about 7 years of premium, right? That's like
yeah, true, 7 years.
$200,000 AI is paying for you for that policies. Those policies which you'll get the investment value as well. So not only was a medical plan pay for all the costs, I think you said you had a cancer type plan, critical illness that paid you money, some money which you could use, which I think you reinvested. If I'm not mistaken, you probably reinvested that money.
No, I invested it on my son's interior decoration for his.
Oh, okay. Well, you managed to use it, and the other premiums that you save from the other policies, another 200,000. I think these are all excess money lah that can really help, and you can use it as well. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the promotion, and also we have a few more coming in who have asked for a quotation. Okay, so keep them coming in. When this webinar ends, you can still key it in. Okay, our life planners follow up with you and send you the link. Make sure you indicate and sign up if you're interested. In the next 2 days, if you get it done, get a quote done, and we will let you know and give you the cashback. Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Tan, for being here today again, and also coming for sharing this as a speaker. You're both awesome speakers. We've run a bit over time, I understand, but some of you are here because you're waiting for the announcement of the winner of the lucky draw of one of our giveaways on Y Associates Instagram page. Okay, so some of them have been waiting very long. Oh, only still about 10 to 20 over them still waiting here. So we're going to announce the winner now. Hafiz, could you please share the screen? We've already done the draw, and also it was done by, in case you want to know how many of them, I'm going to share with you. Yeah, so this was the giveaway winner announcement. We're going to actually announce it right now. And just to let you know, we have about, if you go to the next one, yeah, so the Honor Band 5, there's going to be a lucky winner who like our page and also, tag people. So the contest has already ended. We had more than 145 likes and more than 1,243 comments. So we had to really total up all the numbers, and there were 1,022 draws from there. Okay, and the winner here we're going to announce right now. We will contact you via Instagram. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations, Linda Cassandra. Linda Cassandra, if you are here or you're watching this video, congratulations. We're going to be in touch with you to let you know that you're the winner of the Honor Band 5 worth $129. Okay, so thank you very much for participating in our giveaway from Y Associates Instagram page. Keep following us. We will have more giveaways. We have a lot of promos and our Facebook page as well. So that's about it. I think for the Instagram contest, the webinar has officially ended. Thank you very much, Dr. Tan.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for all the panelists. And on behalf of Y Associates, I want to thank all the participants and all those who have attended today. Thank you for being here. Okay, thank you very much. So right now, we are actually going to move to the very exciting lucky draw. This is going to be done live. Okay, Dr. Tan, you might stay on here and just see. It is actually a contest that we have in our agency and our company for all our life planners. So we have about 20, 30 of our life planners who participated in this in December last year. So there is actually going to be a winner of the latest MacBook Air M1 worth $4,399, I think. Okay, $4,399. So I'm going to do the live draw now. This is actually for our life planners who have participated. So those of you who are here, I think there are a few of you who are in the running. I'm going to show it now. Who is actually in the running? Yeah. So for those who are attending the webinar, who are our clients and everything, this is one of our internal contests and lucky draw that we have for a challenge in our agency. So yeah, if you're looking to join a side hustle career, contact us, let us know, let our life planners know. Insurance is a very rewarding industry as well. Yeah, and these guys are going to be rewarded with a new MacBook Air. Okay, I'm just going to get the file out and share. I'm going to do the draw live right now. Yeah, so feel free to stay on if you want to. If not, you can log off. For our life planners, you have to be here. Okay, so we're going to show you a video, a reaction video. I'm so very excited. Okay, let me just get. You should have your numbers, right? Your lucky numbers. Okay, let me just pull out the final report. Okay, I'm going to share screen. I'm going to show you this one right here. Okay, so are you guys seeing? Okay, so yeah. This, this is actually the final report, okay? And there are quite a lot of draws here. We've already sent the other report to you all, right? I think I will just share the screen so that you all can see easily in one desktop, okay? So you can see both screens at the same time, yeah? Maybe we can turn on all the... Can we allow everyone to talk? Those I don't know.
I don't think everyone can turn on. I think can try.
Okay. Kelvin, you're on.
Kelvin, yeah, I think you need to allow everyone. So
I think we allow all our life planners now. Okay, our life planners. Yeah. Can you help me in just allowing them so that they can, you know?
You need to do that.
You guys want to talk lah? Oh, I have to do it, is it?
Yeah, you have to do it. You have to allow everyone.
Okay, so let me just look at the Okay, let me show the qualifying screen first. I'm going to show the desktop screen. Okay. Okay, I think you all can see this desktop here. So we have a few people here. Elaine. Okay, we have Kelvin. We have Yendra. We have Herda. Okay. Jenny, I'll allow you to talk as well. Ki Siu Ming, okay, Kelvin Ki. Okay. All right. You can mute yourself. I allow you to talk. Okay. I think Tiasmita as well. And Vadi Velu, is it? Oh, Vadi Velu, no, sorry. Agilan. We have Agilan here. And Vincent. Hi, Heda.
Hi.
Are we missing anyone here? Are you all here or not? All the participants. We have Shamala. Where's Shamala? Shamala, are you here?
Shamala is here.
Okay, Shamala, you're here. Shamala.
Yeah, Kizia, I'm here.
Okay, Kelvin is here. Kaming is here. Okay, Kaming also get Hafiz. Vincent, hi.
Hi.
Okay, Kelvin Key, you're here. John Cock,
Yeah,
are you here? John? John Cock, just check. John Cock.
No, John is not here.
Okay, John is not here. Okay. So we also have Harry, Kim Sing, you're here. Heda is here. Diendra. Punima, is Punima here? Punima, yes. Okay. Punima, I see you. Okay. Elaine, Kiasmata. Is Agilan here? Agilan, am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay, so these are the draws entitled, okay, we've already audited as much as possible, and you should have this report here. So we have numbers 1 all the way to numbers 221. So right now, I'm going to do this live, okay? Can you all make sure you get the reaction video? Okay. I'm very, very excited. I cannot win, but I really want to see who is going to take home the MacBook Air worth $4,399. Okay, so I'm going to do it now. What do I search for, Hafiz?
Random generator.
Random
number generator.
Number generator. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we are going to put this here. You can see my screen. I'm going to do this live. Please look at your numbers. I've randomized all the numbers. One number all the way to 221. Okay? Okay, are you guys ready? Are we ready or not?
Go. Let's go. We've been waiting for this for so long.
Okay. 1, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is... Only those who are attending here. 156. Are you here?
Who's 156?
Lam Kah Meng. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Wow, you have a very good...
Congrats, Kah Meng.
Congrats, bro.
All right. Oh
I prophesy for you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Congrats,
Congrats.
I've proven to you all already, okay? It's completely random. We just clicked it. I didn't do anything, okay? All right. So thank you very much, everyone. Those who didn't win, don't worry. You still have chance to do many more sales. That's again, okay? So I'm going to end this webinar already. Again, Dr. Tan, thank you for saying all the way.
Good
Such a
night.
pleasure.
Yes,
Just a
good
fun
night.
Dr.
thing.
Tan.
Yeah.